So, I'm here right now already, and I wonder if I will stay alone or if there are other people joining me now, because I don't know. It's my first time since I do it that I'm doing this live video, Facebook video thingy, and I wonder if something is happening. But I mentioned I'll start at 4 o'clock, so it's a bit of time anyway, and I'm curious. I'm here around now in Solaris in my little beautiful garden that I like very much. Oh, there's some people joining me actually. And yes, Chris, hello Chris, how are you? Good to see you. That's really nice that you are here. And another person comes. I want to wait a little while longer, maybe other people join me, and want to share with you about my last experiences with people that called me to sell something, and also about hi Kai, yes, Herr Doron, that's you, I know, yeah. And about our new seminar that we are planning to do, hypnotic selling, and what it is about, what it is actually not about, and how hard it is nowadays to sell to people if you don't build a relationship. And I believe to have a hypnotic selling training or hypnotic selling abilities, it's not dangerous, it's easy, it's fun, and it will be a good training. So let's see whoever else wants to join me now. It's just about 4 o'clock now, and there are people coming by. That's the hard part for me in talking live when there are people walking by and I'm worried and scared, and no, I'm actually not, okay? Good. Let's wait for another minute or two. Maybe somebody else is joining in. It's not raining yet, no mosquitoes around me. As you can see here, I'm in Solaris de Tamas, in my little garden in front of my office. I like that place because it's relaxing. Well, there are mosquitoes here as well, so I gotta walk around to avoid them from hitting me. Good. Allow me to share a little bit about what actually, let's just talk about now. And let me share with you what actually happened over the last couple of days with this strange call from the UK. Hey Justin, good to see you. I appreciate all of you being here right now. It's only 5 people so far, but maybe more people are coming and as they're joining in. See, I was recently working in the office, and earlier on, the week earlier, there was somebody else calling me from the UK. Initially I thought it's like from Google, because Google calls from all kind of strange locations to talk to me. This time I actually answered the call. Sorry, mosquito. Just in front of my face now. Okay, wants to talk to me, the mosquito. And this guy asked me, he said to me, I clicked on one of his advertisements, on the sales advertisements in Facebook, and that means to him that I was interested. And I asked him what company he is actually from, and he mumbled something. I didn't quite get it. It was okay for me. I tried to recall, because actually I'm clicking on a lot of advertisements, want to know what's going on and how other people run their advertisements, because we do that as well. And he was immediately a little bit upset, and he said like, hey, I clicked on that ad, that means I have to be interested. And that's when I start playing, of course, with language and linguistics, of course, because I don't see the relationship between somebody clicking on an advertisement and wanting to sell something immediately. So I asked him for that relationship and asked him what really goes on in that relationship. What is it actually that causes him to think that when I click on an ad, it would mean I call, or I would be interested to buy that service. And he said like, well, yes, we are selling the service software to increase your secondary income, sales, and so on. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. Okay, tell me more. I didn't ask him to tell me more. I'm not quite interested. But you clicked on that ad, and I thought, no, but it doesn't. There's no relationship whatsoever between clicking on an ad and wanting to buy it. And he said like, well, you just wasted my time. I said, no, I don't know if I wasted your time when I'm calling from the UK. All the way from the UK, and why shall I? And then he hung up immediately. Interestingly, what I did not put on Facebook, pretty much 5 minutes later somebody else called, and it was a Malaysian number, and this person said, we are doing a research and we would like to know your age group. And I said like, you're doing a research and you want to know my age group. Which company are you calling from? He said, no, we just want to know your sales group, your age group. And I said, like, but I don't want to tell it to you. I don't even know who you are. And then he said again, I want to know your sales, your age group. And then I said, the old strategy, I asked him, hello, how are you? Who are you? I don't know who you are. I can't hear you anymore. And then he hung up. So I did as if I wouldn't hear him anymore. Pretty rude, maybe. That's called pushy sales, I believe. That's not what actually works nowadays. Now, I believe actually that the world becomes a bit more resistant to this kind of sales. And I wonder, I mean, they're calling from the UK, and they're calling from the UK and ask me about sales and putting some stuff up. And what is the relationship between selling and clicking an advertisement and wanting I just found it very rude. Now the thing is, of course, people are like this. Everybody is in sales nowadays, and it doesn't matter. Hey Marie, good to see you. Nice to have you here as well. Everybody is in sales. It doesn't matter if you're in sales when you are talking to your parents, talking to your children. You need to have influence. If you're talking to your spouse, you need to have influence. If you're talking to your boss, you need to have influence. If you talk to your colleagues, to your clients, you need to have influence. Everybody's in sales. Everybody needs to influence. And influence to me is nothing special. We get influenced all the time. Whatever you believe right now is based because other people imposed their beliefs on you. And you started to believe it. Whatever you believe right now, it's a belief to have. So you were influenced when you were younger and installed a belief that what you believe today, somebody influenced you. When you got married, on a certain level, when you got married, somebody influenced you to get married. Maybe your parents told you earlier, it's good to get married, and you start believing it because also society tells you that it's good to get married. And then you fall in love with somebody, and that person, somehow along that line, also convinced you to get married, and you got influenced. As a sales process ongoing over and over and over again. Now, business is, of course, totally different, because somebody always gets sold. You have a chance, you're meeting a person, you're meeting a company, you're calling up somebody, and then we are putting up these blockages in our mind saying, oh, now I need to sell. And now I need to get the sale. And now I need to open the door. And now I need to have some meeting. And now I need to sell again. And now I need to be convincing enough. Selling is a relationship. And it's the same as if you would go for dating, as if you would date your clients. Because you're building a relationship with the client. It's not necessarily that you're getting a sale pretty much immediately. True, right? So, hypnotic selling is just like that. See, we are getting influenced. A couple of days ago, I cut my hair. Hopefully, Kai, you can realize that I cut my hair. A bit shorter now. And there was that song by Coldplay, Yellow, in the hairdresser salon. And I didn't pick it up because I was doing something else. I was concentrating on the guy cutting my hair. But once I left the saloon, the shop, that song stuck in my head. Suddenly it popped up in my head. And even at night, I still sang that song in my head. Somewhere along that line, that message, that song infiltrated my brain, my mind, and it kept reminding me over and over again. I was singing that song. That's influence. Same thing. Years ago, I had a leadership training in Langkawi. I was in a beautiful hotel, beautiful environment, and we trained there. It was beautiful. Thanks, Kai, for that comment. And the next morning, it was a 2 days training, and the next morning, I woke up, showered, and I sang a song, My Way from Frank Sinatra. And I thought like, that's a song I haven't heard for a long time. Where is this one coming from? So I was singing it along. Now what happened was, the moment I left the hotel room and I entered the elevator, my ears opened up and I thought like, what song is playing in the elevator? It was Frank Sinatra, My Way. And what happened was, these hotels, they have this, it's called Muzak, the band, the company is called Muzak, and they are selling songs to hotels, to retail outlets, And these songs, the companies are playing those songs over and over again in their halls, in the elevator, and so on. This hotel had about 2 or 3 songs only, and they played it over and over again the whole day, in the elevator, in the restaurant, and we were training there. And I didn't pick up that song. But what happened was that suddenly that song also was in my mind. And the next day, when I then was under the shower, suddenly I heard the song in my head. Didn't even realize it was related to the song I heard earlier the day before. That's influence, unconscious influence, directly getting influenced by something. And that's what hypnotic selling is all about. That you are actually able to build this beautiful relationship with people. Faster or slower, and of course it's better to be faster because we are living in an environment of hyper competition. That we are having the ability to influence people at a very unconscious level, creating wonderful relationship and make things happen. Not selling immediately, but building a beautiful relationship. And that's what unconscious influence, hypnotic influence is to me important overall. That we are able to meet those people at a level that they enjoyed and we enjoyed. Many people are married, in love, and that's the deepest unconscious influence you can actually have. Remember the time when you were in love with somebody and you were so deeply in love that everything else faded away. That was a beautiful time. You were sitting there in the restaurant and you were imagining and planning the future and feelings took over and you just had a good time. That was unconscious influence as well. Now, I'm not saying that your clients should fall in love with you or you fall in love with your clients, because it means you would have only maybe 1 client or 2 clients in your lifetime. But that is something that you want to actually try to achieve with your client when you build unconscious influence. The economy is getting tougher. People become more resistant nowadays. There is hyper competition. There are a lot of companies around that offer pretty much the same service and they don't have the time to listen to you all the time. And even if you are very different, even if you are standing somewhere presenting your product and you believe you are very different, it's not always happening. We have to make us stand out in an instant. And it's possible to build rapport, to build an unconscious influence in below 10 seconds. Absolutely possible. And it goes way, way beyond the traditional NLP terminologies. Or NLP matching and mirroring stuff, which is it's a 3rd level, so to speak, NLP matching and mirroring, which you all know most likely, or many of you know, that matching and mirroring is powerful, but there's something more before. Neurological research has discovered that, and that's what we want to teach you in this class. I would love to have Daphna here, because I'm not the only one who's doing the training. As you maybe saw in the brochure, and I'm going to hold it up in just a moment, there's somebody else who's doing that training with me. It's Daphna Leeway from Public Mutual. But she's not just in Public Mutual. She's doing a lot of different types of businesses in the meantime. But she has taken NLP to the next level. NLP in sales to the next level. Because she's really, really good. After she joined our NLP training, she became Public Mutual's top consultant over and over and over again. And I'm really, really happy that I have the chance to do this training with her. So I would like to talk a little bit more about, because some people also ask me before I talk about that training, what's the difference between hypnotic selling and hypnosis overall. And some people might be freaking out. Do you use hypnosis? Do you put your clients into a trance state? Trance is happening every day, guys. We are hypnotized and tranced every single moment of our life. As I said earlier. Advertisement, I mentioned it, the song My Way from Frank Sinatra or Yellow from Coldplay when I was cutting my hair. That was influencing me. We are getting influenced. You're seeing advertisements. How many advertisements did you see this morning when you walked somewhere or when you drove to work? How many did you see? You can't remember all of them. We are deleting those away. But It means these advertisements still filter into our mind. They're still getting into our mind. And then suddenly we are standing in front of a supermarket shelf and we buy the product that we like the most. And we don't know where it's coming from, because we got influenced by that one. That is influence on a day-to-day basis. Hypnotic selling is nothing else but getting massively influenced in a positive manner. And the key word here is, of course, positive. So we always get influenced. Hypnotherapy is something else. When my clients are coming to me, to my office, and they are saying I have a depression, or I have a anxiety, a phobia, panic, the area we are so specialized in Asia Mind Dynamics, and then we are working with them. It's a totally different contract altogether, that we are working with these people at a therapeutical state. And Kai, you should know by now that hypnosis is not sleep, okay? You mentioned hypnosis is sleep. It's not, my friend. And you know that as a master hypnotherapist, right? But it's good that you're participating. I really, really, really like that so much, okay? And I'm not bumping into anybody. I'm more worried that I maybe fall into the water here next to me when I suddenly get into my own personal trance, because I actually enjoy talking to you guys all. So, let me talk a little bit about this hypnotic selling training, if I may. And I hope nobody is clicking off now, because I'm going to talk a little bit about it. This training, it will be a 3-day training. April 26 to 27 is a full-blown training, and followed by by May 3rd. And we do a coaching. Those people who came to the training get a personal coaching, where we want to listen to their stories, when we are fine-tuning their approaches, when we want to know their challenges that they have faced. And we want to fine-tune their approach to know what's going on. And I do know that you don't want me to sell too much, and I won't sell much. But it would be really appreciated that if you know some people who are in sales, that you are informing them about this training. Forward this message, forward this video to the different people, and talk to them about the different types of selling. And this training here could be very special to them, very, very different to them. And my brochure is online, and if they are signing up via the code, let me see the number, if I find the number here, my brochure, code 8282. They would actually get access to 2 of my online courses for free. It would be lovely if I see more people in the class. I'm going to do more of those live videos, because I start enjoying those. Not necessarily every day, but every now and then I'm going to talk about at least once a week. So guys and girls, I really appreciate that you are listening in. Give me feedback in a personal manner, not publicly. I'm too shy and too sensitive to negative feedback online straight away. Give me feedback on how you liked that video, because it was the first time that I went live. Alright? And I hope to see you soon, and I hope that I'm going to hear from you good news soon. Alright? Bye-bye. Thanks everybody, and enjoy your weekend coming up. You create a new one, a perfect one, because you are the creator of your life. See you guys. Bye-bye.